Alright, so the Hawk doesn't have any plastics on right now. Just waiting in case I need to dial anything in. But I'm going to take it for a ride. We'll see how this thing performs with this new engine. I'll take you along with me with the GoPro, but we'll see how the video turns out. Kind of trying a new setup with the microphone. Alright, here she is, the Maiden Voyage. It's a cold one out today here in Ohio. So it's gonna be really hard not to rip on this thing, but it is a brand new engine, so I'm gonna have to take it easy. But I can already feel a big power difference. The Hawk's stock engine, as we all know, it has really good low end torque and then kind of putters out at the top, but I'm curious to see how this does, because just starting off there in first gear, it felt completely different. I'm in 6th gear, look at that. Okay, maybe a lot more power is a little bit of exaggeration, but it just pulls the same all the way through the power band, let me put it like that. All right. I'm going up a little bit of a hill right now. I'd say the power on the top end doesn't feel like a whole lot more than the other Hawk engine right now. Like I said, I don't want to run it to full throttle, but this is just one huge uphill run right here.
turn around. To 60 in fourth gear. There's a ton of wind today. So one direction I'm going uphill, the other direction I'm headed right into the wind. The 6th gear is nice. It really lets the engine come down to a much more smooth range. As you can see, go about 55. Let's see, pull it up to 55. In 6th gear, it really does have no power though, especially going in the wind like this. Unfortunately. And once it breaks in, we'll see how it does, but this engine really transmission's awesome. If we could just have this 6-speed transmission on the stock Hawk engine, I think that would have been a pretty good combination. The way I have this geared, it was supposed to be just like the Hawk, except the extra 6th gear. Here's 65 miles an hour. Problem is it just doesn't have enough power to pull through 6th gear the way it's geared right now. See, this engine likes to be up at 65, 7,000 RPMs. That's where the power's at. So when I downshift 6th gear, it just dies in the power. It actually runs faster in 5th gear. The way I geared it was kind of set up that the power band would be similar to the CG engine. That's my fault for doing it that way, but this almost needs to be geared a little bit higher because this engine does rev higher. It didn't even hit the rev limiter at 10,000 RPMs. So I'm probably going to have to do a sprocket change of some sort to get this thing dialed in. Because it wants to pull all the way up through the RPM range. It's very, very similar though to the stock Hawk engine. I don't want to run it up all the way and beat it up too bad here. It is a lot smoother, the engine. I will say that there is absolutely no vibration coming through the handlebars or the seat at all. So that counterbalance really does help. See, I was trying to, like I said, when I planned this gearing in my head, I don't know what I was really thinking, but then again, I didn't know anything about this engine, but I was planning for the Hawk, you know, it's like 5,000 RPMs is where it likes to really live at and pull. For this engine, it shifted it up to about 7,000 RPMs. So when I hit this hill in 6th gear here, it's just dropping speed like crazy. It just, even when you're downshifting, it's hard to explain. It's a lot smoother. Definitely has a little more power. Talk a little bit about this too, just from building it when I'm driving here. Adjusting the valve lash is going to be a lot more difficult on this than it is with the CG engine, because it shows in the, I found a manual for a Zanella, and it shows taking the valve cover completely off, even though there is these little like inspection caps on the top of this engine. I don't know if you could actually adjust through those, but you probably have to take the gas tank and the top rear motor mount off to adjust the valves, it looks like, or at least to get the valve cover off, which isn't the end of the world, but it's definitely a lot more of a pain in the butt than the CG engine, because you didn't have to take anything off the bike. It is really smooth though. There's no vibration at all making it to my hands or my rear end. It's way too cold to be out here in a t-shirt. It's like 40 some degrees. Too cold to be riding this motorcycle too. Neutral's a little easier to get too. Alright, so that's the first ride. You have to let me know what you think. Definitely gonna need a gearing change, so I'm gonna have to think about that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next time.